Hello. I am Ben Pick, and thank you for joining me in Running to Write, where I give questionable writing advice through running metaphors. Welcome to Season 5. I want to start by thanking each and every one of you. This channel, Running to Write, as of this week, the week that I'm recording this, hit 200 subscribers, which is something I never thought was possible when I first started off. That is incredible, and to make it even more momentous, it happened during my 100th episode, which again was something I was not anticipating on making it to. So thank you, everyone. You all are the reason I do Running to Write, and it is wonderful to feel so much support and goodwill towards this channel. So thank you. I am thrilled you all keep watching my videos, and I'm going to give you more questionable advice through running metaphors. Except tonight's video, the metaphor comes from my work life rather than running. Every so often at my day job, I need to go back and review reports I've previously written to ensure that they're still accurate, and possibly use them to copy and paste as templates for similar findings. There may be a month or year gap between when I wrote a report and when I go back to review it, and think, what moron wrote it this way? Only to scroll to the top, see my own name, and think, oh. My technical writing skills have improved considerably, and I've become great at reviewing other people's reports to make them client ready. I'm not infallible, and my greatest weakness is reviewing my own work to do the same. Going back to a report months later makes me question my skills as a writer. When I submitted it, I did my own internal review, and it looked good enough, and it also passed my company's own review process. So in the time since, my skills have improved enough to recognize my own flaws and how to fix them. Or I've become much more observant and distanced to, again, identify where the problems in my writing would be. The issues I'm usually finding are nuanced touches in how I'm conveying my ideas, and I will have thought of a better way of saying what I'm trying to once I'm removed from that report. At the end of last month, I finished the first draft of my third novel. The entire process was a struggle which I had to push through. Every sentence, every page made me question my skills as a writer. I thought my work was terrible, so I might as well quit. Well, how did I get over it? These are my 5 tips to get over the I'm terrible at this mentality when it comes to our writing. Number 1, improve incrementally. In this first draft of book 3, I know there are parts that are badly written. There are plot threads that go nowhere, character motivations that don't line up. All of it. Well, I plan to fix them in drafts 2 and on. When I write, I use a new Word document for each chapter of my story. The first 10 pages of those documents are blank, which I fill up with notes to myself. I'll put in things I want to add or remove, or moments which didn't feel right to me when I was going through that stream of consciousness first draft. This allows me to write as much as I'm able to within that first draft, and have a list of pain points which I want to go back and improve upon during revisions. As I go through each round of my self-edits, these notes to myself guide my efforts. They help me a lot more than simply reading through from the first line to the last and touching up as I see fit. Sometimes I mark those to-do notes as done, sometimes I reject them, and sometimes I write more notes to myself to consider for the next round of self-edits. Whether I achieve that goal of improving each round is subjective. My point is that I write down where I know I made mistakes in that previous draft, so I can actively fix them in future revisions. This way I ensure that I don't look over or miss those mistakes, and work to improve them with every round of self-edits. Number 2, improving myself. Recognizing my writing tendencies, successes, and failures allows me to work to further improve them. I'm only on my 3rd book. Honing my skills every day means that by the time I get to book number 10, I will be significantly better. I'll be able to anticipate when I'm creating a swampy middle, or predict when my plots are running out of steam. I'll recognize in my outlines when I have too many or too few plot points. Cough, cough, I won't write a first draft that is 20,000 words under my goals. Or if I do, I'll already have a plan in place for how to flesh out the story. For more info on underwriting, check back either next week or the week after, depending on when I decide to upload that video. I'll be giving my tips on how I'm fixing my underwritten first draft of book 3. Number 3, respect the process. When I create my outlines, there are several crystal clear scenes in my head. Those are the ones which I am excited to write because I know how emotional they'll be. That's when my characters will fall to their greatest depths, only to find the means to get up and climb out. Except when I write those moments in the first draft, they feel flat. What's put on the page doesn't come close to what I had envisioned. That's okay. Not only is this a first draft, but no idea comes out perfect. Most of my writing looks nothing like how I originally planned it. Some of it is better and some of it's different. Moving on from the first draft, I'm going to revise it through several different cycles. Each one is a new chance to get that moment to align with my original intention. Or I can make something entirely new. Maybe the original idea was flawed, and now that I've taken the time to think through it thoroughly, I can see it was a shiny idea without the substance to make it work. Put another way, the perfect idea only existed in my head where I chose not to see its underlying problems. By continually following through on my own processes, I'm able to identify where these problems are and resolve them. More than that, I know that those shiny moments will have to be refined into something that is actually meaningful. Number 4, accept the cringe. Last Sunday, as of the time of recording this, I ran a 5K race with my family. I knew going in that my brother and cousin were going to crush my time. Between now and when I upload this video, I'll have also run a 10-mile race with my brothers, who will do much, much better than me. I accept that. I know my goals and limitations going in. For writing, I know my first draft will be bad. When I'm reading through it during those revision steps, I'm going to come across pages where I think I have no idea what I'm talking about and will want to put giant red X's through it. Once I've done that, I'll break down why it sucks and build it up better than before. And lastly, number 5, adjust expectations. This week was busy and I only came up with 4 tips. I could make up a new one on the spot, but I think this point stands on its own merits. Also, I have to run. Not actually run, mind you, because I've already done my 11 miles for today. Look, life is a mess. I adjust my schedule to write as much as I'm able to. I write a lot less than I want, but significantly more than nothing. Some of my writing sessions during that first draft were cut short, and the writing was noticeably negatively impacted. I would love to set aside time on a regular and continual basis for uninterrupted writing. That's not realistic. I write when I can and strive to convey the ideas in my head onto my laptop. I adjust my expectations, both in terms of writing time and quality of each draft. Those are the methods I use to get over the I suck phase of my writing. I hope it helps. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to go edit my work to push the needle to better than terrible. I am Ben Pick, and thank you for joining me in Writing to Write. If you enjoy my tricks on how not to cringe when reading our own works, please press those like and subscribe buttons. What are some of your worst thoughts when reading your own works? Let me know in those comments. I post my running and writing progress on Instagram and Twitter as Running to Write, so be sure to follow me and join in with your own thoughts. Don't forget to sign up for the Running to Write monthly newsletter for regular updates on my sort of musings, pitfalls, and lessons learned. The link is in the description below. This episode was brought to you by Celi. He's a creative Authortuber who focuses on the supernatural world. His videos include creature spotlights on all things which go bump in the night, and he has 2 great Kindle Vella series about vampires. You should check out the series starting with The Unlife of Lisa Cooper and its prequel, The Vampires of 1863. Season 1 of Lisa Cooper ended with quite the climactic showdown, and I praised the series before on this channel. Now we're exploring the history of 1863. See you next time. Until then, let's all be better than we were yesterday.